I just dropped off my kids at school, but instead of feeling relieved, I feel a deep sense of anxiety and despair. Life has become so difficult lately, and I don't even know how much longer I can keep it all together. I think about the bills that are piling up, the endless medical expenses for my wife's sickness. Where from this cancer? Where from this cancer? Charlie. Hmm. And the slow progress of my business alone. Man, I feel like I'm drowning in debt, and no matter how hard I work, I can't seem to get anything ahead. It's like I'm stuck in a never ending cycle of stress and worry. I remember when things were easier, when my wife and I were both healthy and our kids were still young and carefree. But now, everything feels like a struggle. Everything. And I don't even know how to make it better. I know I need to stay strong for my family, especially my kids and my wife. I mean, she needs me. But sometimes I feel like I'm barely holding on myself. I wonder if anyone else feels this way. If anyone else is struggling to keep their head above water in this difficult world, especially in this economic crisis we find ourselves locally and internationally, or let me say globally. But Charlie, I can see some people chilling. People are excited. I mean, I go on social media and people are happy, taking pictures here and there. No. Hmm. Especially on my class page, my school page, old students, boys are making it. People are selling cars, showing um, buildings of projects they are doing, and they become landlord. And it's like nothing works for me. Charlie, God, I need you to come through for me. And see, the funny thing is, as I sit in my car, lost in thought, hmm, someone will pass and would say that this guy doesn't have a problem just because I have a car, or maybe I've sent my kids to a good school. But they don't know what I'm going through. It's not easy. It's not easy. And reminding myself to keep going, to keep fighting, even when it feels like the odds are stacked up against me. I know that I can't give up. That one I know. But it's tough. It's tough. At least not for my family. Not for myself. Not for myself. Hmm. I think I have to call the Mindsurgeon. Talk to him about what I'm going through at least. I need my mind psyched up. I need my mind worked on. I really need to get myself back, seriously. I really need to get myself back. Else, because Charlie, my spirit is low, man. Spirit is low. Even money to buy fuel. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough. Nothing is going on. I mean, business, everything. I have to call him. I have to call him. I have to call him. Let me just get home. Let me just get home and see. Oh, I should call him now. Let me let me call him now before I get home. Welcome, my name is Dilquest, your mind surgeon, and I would like you to subscribe, like, and share my YouTube channel so that I can reach a wider audience. If you look at the situation of Micheal and what he's going through, it might be a peculiar situation customized for him, but I'm very much aware that a lot of people, especially husbands and married men, for that matter, are going through similar situations and even worse. We are in hard times, globally speaking, or even domestically speaking. A lot of men, married men, are going through a lot of things, especially even with single fathers who are parenting their children. People are going through tough times. It's because the expectation that is placed on men are huge. And that is why we always tell a lot of people that in going into marriage as a man, there are a lot of decisions and considerations that you have to do. It's not just about getting married to that pretty lady. It's about asking yourself certain deep questions on how to deal with things that would be thrown at you. For Micheal's situation, it's quite sad. For a gentleman who has dropped off his kids in school, has his own car, has a wife, is married, and there are people who are single and still searching. In fact, he's been seen on a certain pedestal, socially speaking. But this is a gentleman who sits in his car sad and having what you call an internal silent conversations, which most men do, including myself, especially when we're going through tough times. And for Micheal's situation, what even makes it worse is that his wife is diagnosed of cancer. Your wife may not be diagnosed of cancer, but possibly your wife might be pregnant, and so you are expecting a child. Chances are that you might have a cesarean section, or even when you go through safe delivery by pushing. Okay? It requires a lot of finances. And in a situation where we find ourselves, globally speaking, when it comes to the economic nature of things, money is hard to come by. And when you have your work not even going on well, when you have bills to pay at home and at work, the situation is worse. All these things come together to affect the mental state of most men. And so their minds are not at peace. Most men found in this situation are thinking, are worried, sometimes are even found talking to themselves. And so Mike parks his car somewhere and begins to have a conversation silently with himself as to what to do. He's losing it. And as a mind surgeon, this is what I will tell you, that where we find ourselves today is as a result of the choices we have made linked to the decisions we took years ago. And so if you want to change the future going forward and see a different outcome, you would have to take different decisions today. Yes, you would have to make different choices today. But you can only make effective decisions and make good choices when you have enough data and information. Because data and information are the very building element your mind depends on. And so when you have enough correct data, enough information, you can make certain choices. What do I mean? You would have to assess your life. What you've done in the past that didn't help you. You'd have to sit down and assess a lot of things and ask very difficult questions as a man. Possibly even engage your wife in this exercise and let your wife know what you're going through and the stress that you're dealing with. I always say that the beauty of marriage is that most of the time, the solutions to the problems we go through as men lie silently in the speech and contributions of our wives. Yes, they are wired like that, and that's why they have a womb. And so when you speak your problems to them, sometimes they might not give you an immediate solution. But as you have spoken and shared with them what you go through, they would always incubate it and give birth to solutions that you never imagined possible. That will change your life. But if you find yourself in a situation where you don't have a prudent wife that can change things around for you, then you would have to engage yourself with good friends, or possibly talk to a good counselor, or a very trusted pastor if you're Christian, or an imam if you're a Muslim, or any religious leader depending on which religion you find yourself in, a trusted one, because we don't have too many in our society today. And so for Mike's situation, it is something that most people are going through. And one of the best solutions that you can also do is to pray. I believe in prayer. Yes, I do. I don't believe in the prayer of noise making. I don't believe in the prayer of religion. I believe in the prayer of understanding the works of God in your life through people, through nature, through events that are happening in your life. It's amazing that if you sit down and assess and study the events happening in your life, you can hear voices within your mind as to what decisions and solutions you must come by or take. Very important. And so prayer where you talk to your maker in your closet. Prayer where you understand that the will of the supernatural intelligence we call God prevailing in your life is very important. The prayer of having to work on yourself and your character, where you don't have to engage in certain things going ahead of God. The prayer of keeping doing good to people despite what you're going through. The prayer of having intense faith that life would always turn around for people who believe in their God. The prayer based on how well you understand life and the life of people around you. The prayer of doing good to people because you want them to do good to you. Yes. Prayer that is linked with the Word of God. When I say the Word of God, I don't mean the Bible alone. I mean any other good advice that comes from anyone, whether be it a kid or even people you don't expect an advice to come from. Yes, including your parents. So talk to someone if you find yourself in a situation like this. But don't engage yourself in bad company that leads you into social vices like drinking, smoking, womanizing. Because one of the things I've realized is that when men go through situations like this, they tend to engage in a lot of things. If you engage in women, you would lose more. Because when you're trying to satisfy your temporal problems, that is giving you stress by engaging in women, you tend to spend the more and you lose out on your beautiful family. For the situation of Micheal, where his wife has cancer, this is the best time she needs your company, Micheal. Yes. Because she's also going through a lot, as much as you're going through a lot. Even if she might be in her last days, let it count. Let it be a memorable one. And be there for the children. Yes. Get support from families who understand your situation. Talk to families. Family is everything. I mean good family. Good relationship with people is everything. And engage yourself in active exercise of making great friends who also understand your situations or possibly has been there before. Or watch movies about your situation or even read books that address your situation. Go on YouTube. Your situation is not peculiar. People going through that. I'm sure there are a lot of advices like I'm doing that you can take cue from to help your life and change it. But one thing I know is that when we go through situations like this, it always, no matter how long it lasts, there would always be a time where things will turn around and will change. And lastly, I leave you with this. As a mind surgeon, your very great asset that you must not lose in a situation like this is not to lose your mind. Be strong mentally. And how do you do that? Speak to yourself every now and then, encouraging yourself. Do not give up. Talk to yourself consistently. Encourage yourself for your kids' sake and your wife's sake. Encourage yourself. Understand your situation. Speak to your mind. One of the things I do personally when I go into situations like this is I speak to myself in the mirror. I do that a lot of times because the world out there doesn't have a lot of people that would encourage you. And so you would have to do that. Set yourself standing in front of a mirror and speak to yourself. What you're doing is that you're speaking to your soul, which is the real you. And when you consistently do that, you go through a process of inactive meditation where you are able to bounce back and fall on the right path once again. So Micheal, understand what you're going through. We have therapies and exercises I call Mindsurgery that we go through when people like this go through situations like that. You can always sign up to. You can go to my channel and look for my email and email me if you're going through something like that. I have helped a lot of people come out of situations like this. Yes. It is very possible. It is doable. All hope is not lost. And for guys who are going through something like this, you are not alone. Many men are going through that. And so find yourself in right companies and share your burdens. And once your burdens are shared, it puts your mind at peace. Then you begin to think well again and see the solution in your problems. It will not last. Trust me, it will not. I'm Dale Quest, your mind surgeon. And this is what I leave with you as men going through a situation like this. I want to encourage you that hold the fort. I know the responsibilities are enormous as a man. The expectations are huge as a man. And it's intense even as a husband. But I know that one thing about marriage, when you do it right, it comes with a lot of blessings. I wish you the best. And I know things will turn around.